So this woman might be going to jail for a long time, and the reason is because she woke up one morning and by her landlord. Let me explain. Now, the woman goes by the name Ifoma. She's a single mother with two children, and she lives in the same apartment with her landlord and his family. But you see, right from the day Ifoma moved into this particular apartment, she had not had peace. Before renting the apartment, Ifoma discovered that the apartment had a big problem. There was no running water there, no pipe, or even a borehole, and as a result, she almost left to rent a different apartment. However, the landlord of that apartment convinced her that as soon as she makes payments for the house, he would use the money to erect a borehole within 2 weeks and then she can move in. On hearing this, Ifoma accepted to pay the full rent of 210,000 naira, agency fee included. But 2 weeks after paying, no borehole was erected as landlord claimed it would. Ifoma got tired of waiting and then moved into the house that way with the hope that if the landlord starts seeing her often in the house, he would feel guilty and then erect the borehole. However, that never happened. Months went by and no borehole was erected. The sad part was that whenever Ifoma asked the landlord, he kept on giving flimsy excuses. Another problem Ifoma faced in the apartment was shortage of electricity. Whenever the tenants, including Ifoma, contributed money to subscribe electricity and hand over to the landlord to recharge, they would notice that the subscription burns faster. And according to Ifoma, the reason for that was because the landlord was using part of the money to sort out the previous electricity bill owed by old tenants without their consent. Even after discovering these things, Ifoma continued to endure until one fateful day when something crazy happened. Now on that particular day, Ifoma returned back from work and on getting home, there wasn't water or light. Annoyed about the whole situation, while walking towards her room, Ifoma began saying that if her rent expires, she won't pay anything to renew it and she would still stay in that same apartment. Now as soon as the landlord heard this word from Ifoma, he immediately came out and confronted her, telling her that if she doesn't renew her rent when it expires, she must pack out. However, Ifoma said she wouldn't due to the horrible situation she has faced in the apartment ever since she moved in. And so the whole thing turned into a fight between Ifoma and landlord. The landlord slapped Ifoma, his wife came out and also joined in the fight, and together they were attacking Ifoma. Now I don't know for a fact if in the process of the fight Ifoma landed any punch on landlord, but sooner they were separated with Ifoma and the landlord returning back to their respective rooms. But you see, it turns out that the landlord is a hypertensive person, and one thing about hypertensive people is that they are not supposed to be getting into heated arguments or physical confrontations because things like that can trigger heart attack in seconds, and that's exactly what happened to landlord. Due to the fight he had with Ifoma, 30 minutes after he returned back to his room, he had a heart attack and collapsed there. He was quickly rushed to the hospital and unfortunately for him, he didn't make it. After landlord was confirmed dead, the police arrived at his house and then they arrested Ifoma for being responsible for his death. As it stands now, Ifoma is currently in police custody and she would soon be arraigned in court, and if she's found guilty, she might be looking at 5 years to life imprisonment. What do you guys think about this case? Follow me for more crazy stories. I'm Caleb and I've uncovered this case.